Hello, hello. It has been a hot minute since I've just done a video solely based on books. So grab a drink and let's talk about all the summer, well, I say summer, but let's do June and July book releases that I'm excited about. I think I've got 9 or 10 books because any more than that, I feel like I'll do in another video just so I'm not rambling for too long. But yeah, my drink of choice is a Pepsi Diet, no, what is it? Pepsi Max caffeine free. Cheers. But yeah, let's just get straight into it because I feel like we are being fed this year with books. We're getting so many good books and I'm just really excited about it. I've made a little list on my phone of the top books. So I'm going to just focus on June and July, and then when it gets to near August, we'll do another one of these videos of all the cool books coming out end of July, August, September kind of vibe. Let's do it. Let's start off with June, and more specifically the 3rd of June. There's 2 books out that day that I'm kind of interested in. So the first one is Megan Quinn's new book. I love Megan Quinn. I feel like she's a really fun author, especially her, is it Vancouver Agitators series, her hockey series. I don't know, I feel like when she writes books, I feel like they're just rom-coms and they're really cute, they're really funny. So she has a new book called Till Summer Do Us Part. I'm just reading the synopsis of it on Goodreads, and it says Scotty Price has just started a new job. She's the only woman. She wants to impress her boss, so I think she says that she has a husband, but she doesn't actually, so she ends up fake married to someone. But yeah, that sounds kind of fun. I mean, I don't know what it is about a fake marriage, fake dating, but I feel like you can't say no to it. It's really fun. But yeah, I really like Megan Quinn. I feel like she always has really good books. I mean, some of her books I love more than others, but she's still an author that if she writes it, I am going to read it. And I mostly enjoy all of her books. I feel like there's the odd one, but it's normally her older books that I find and I'm nah, it's okay, you know? But yeah, I'm really excited about that one. And then the next one, I haven't seen loads about this, but it's called Heir of Storms, which is also expected to be published on the 3rd of June. It's a YA romantasy trilogy, but I think this will be the first one in the trilogy. And I don't know, I really like YA romantasies and stuff like that. I never thought I would, to be honest, but I actually do really enjoy them. So it's about forbidden love, dangerous magic, and a cutthroat competition for a throne in an empire where crowns are not inherited, they're won. I haven't read trials or competitions or anything like that recently because I don't know. I feel like sometimes they're very overdone, and I feel like they're in so many books that I'm I kind of get bored of it. But I don't know, this one kind of enticed me, to be honest. I feel like it'll be exciting. We'll have to see where it takes us, but I'm gonna give this a go. I feel like I haven't read Trials in a while. I think the last book I read was a Court of Winter series that had that in. But I think after the Trials I did die down on that series because I got a bit bored of it. But the Trials in that book really did not take up a lot of the book at all. It was in one of the books as well. There's 4 of them. It might be the second book. It wasn't a lot of them, but I think after I read that I was I'm done now. I don't want to see another competition or anything, but I'm excited for this one. It's by Lauren Hambleton Murray, which I have not read any of her books before. I don't know what else that she's published, but not a lot comes up on Goodreads, so I don't know if this is her first book or not, but I don't know, I feel like it's exciting. I feel like when it comes to this time of year, I don't know why, I love reading fantasy books. I feel like in summer I just love reading any kind of book like that, which is kind of weird. I feel like in winter I just want something festive. On the 5th of June, we have 2 books being released as well, and the first one is actually Scotch on the Rocks by Elliot Fletcher, and she did, what was that book called? Whiskey Business, which I really enjoyed it. I rated it a 4.5. I don't know what it is about that book, but I love it when like the guy's really timid and shy and like the inexperienced one, and like, I don't know, it was just like an amazing book. I really enjoyed it. So I don't know if this is like after that. I think it is. I think it is the same series. Because I saw Scotch on the Rocks and then Whiskey Business. I was like, yeah, they're related. But the description is quite small. It literally just says, if you loved April and Mal's story, prepare to fall in love with Juniper and Callum. He says, don't look at a McKay brother. Don't talk to one. Don't even think about them. Considering one brother is in love with a best friend, one is an ex-fiance, and one... Oh! Okay. And one is a super hot small town hero. Is this gonna be ex-fiance's brother? That sounds really fun. I kind of like a little forbidden romance like that, but that sounds really good. I'm really excited for that one. I'm really excited to read that, especially now I know that they're all related. I feel like I remember seeing her in the first book, but I might like refresh my memory, but it's been taken off Kindle Unlimited. Tried to read it the other month. Rude, but if it's like not too expensive, I will get it on Kindle, or I might just get the paperback, to be honest. And like, I want to try and read that again before I read the next one. The next book is The Saltwater Curse, and I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea about this book until 2 days ago. I went on TikTok and scrolled, and this random book came up, and all I saw was Kraken romance, and I was down. But yeah, The Saltwater Curse is out on the 5th of June as well, by Avina St. Graves, I want to say. But it says, a woman escaping her past, she's slayed a monster before, who I think is referring to her husband. She flees her family, and then I feel like I think there's a monster trying to end a curse, a kraken, and the king kraken wants her as his bride. Books like that really entice me. And I don't know, I really like the cover of this book as well. I feel like a lot of monstery books, the picture or like the front can look a bit cringe sometimes. I hate saying that, but it does. I don't know, I feel like this really entices you and looks really good. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I've not read a Kraken book in a while, and I think they were all by Tiffany Roberts last time, bar the odd one. So I'm excited to see like a new author's take on a Kraken romance. But yeah, that is out on the 5th of June as well. Very excited for that one. On the 17th of June, we have a new hockey romance coming out, which is Stephanie Archer in the Vancouver Storm series. I think this is book 4 now. I feel like I have read all of these. Oh no, I haven't read The Wingman actually. I need to go and read that. But Behind the Net and The Fake Out were really cute. They're not like books that I thought were like 5 stars and incredible. I just thought they're like really cute, you know, like 3 to 4 stars. They're cute books, but I am really picky, and I feel like 5-star romances for me are like, they're sparse. Like, I am quite picky with ratings just because I feel like the 5 stars, I don't like to give any book 5 stars, but I still really enjoyed them. But yeah, I mean, Gloves Off kind of sounds like enemies to lovers, really, doesn't it? She has to marry a grumpy guy, act like they're in love with each other. He's kind of grumpy. He's kind of an arsehole. He's jealous of her ex. Very nice. Okay, so I think he's marrying her for citizenship as well. But that sounds fun. That's giving, what was it called? The Wall of Winnipeg. Like, oh, I can't wait. I'm really excited about that. This might be the best book in the series just from reading it. I think the first book was like, they had a crush on each other in school and then found like they loved each other again. And then The Fake Out was like a fake dating one. I did enjoy that, to be fair. I feel like that was more fun for me than the first one. But, ooh, very excited. Very excited about that one. I feel like I saw the name Gloves Off and I was like, oh, okay, sometimes dislike to lovers isn't really my vibe because they're like, I hate you, but oh my god, that's the most beautiful man I've ever seen. And I'm like, no, let's hate each other, you know? But that sounds good. Why is it with grumpy men? Grumpy sunshine is the best trope ever. On the 26th of June, Opal Rain just announced that she had another monster romance. So she did the Dustwalker Bride series, which was like A Soul to Keep, A Soul to Heal, Soul to Revive, like all stuff like that. Honestly, when I looked at the cover of those books, I was like, Dustwalkers. And I loved them. I inhaled like all them books. Although to be fair, I actually don't think I've read them all. I think that's such a lie. I feel like there is actually 2 that I haven't read. But I inhaled the ones that I did read. I read, I think, A Soul to Heal, Soul to Keep, Soul to Revive, and another one, but I can't remember it. But I think A Soul to Revive and A Soul to Keep were the best 2 in the series, and I really, really, really loved them. So she has a new book coming out called To Trap a Soul. I actually thought this was called A Soul to Trap until I just read it again. But it says the book should not be read before completing Dustwalker Brides, because I think it might like have spoilers, but I don't really care about spoilers. But it says there are rumours about monsters lurking in forests, creatures that instilled fear. Lindy, I think that's how you pronounce the character's name, didn't believe a word of it. That is, until she was stolen from her home and forced to edge of a growing, I don't know what that is, a growing something. I can't read. But a deal is made. He obtains a soul. He's found himself a mate. She doesn't trust him. She's disobedient, but they made a vow. So, okay. My poor little camera overheated, so sorry about that. Oh dear. But it sounds like she goes into a forest after believing monsters aren't real and then makes a deal with a monster. I think she gives him her soul. They have like a mate bond, something like that. I mean, it sounds really interesting. If you liked her Dustwalker Bride series, you'll probably like this. Or if you like any sort of monster romance, definitely get this on your list. I feel like I need to make an actual like guide on here of like all my favourite monster romance or like alien romance books, because I feel they're so underrated, or people might think they're weird, but they're actually not. I'm obsessed with them. Let's do books in July now, and I actually have this book pre-ordered from a special edition. I think it's Waterstones that I actually got this on, and it's Tusk Love by Thea Guanson, and I've just read here that she actually is a best-selling author of the Hurricane Wars, but I haven't read that. I don't know much about that book, but if you have read it, let me know how it is. But I honestly just pre-ordered this book because I saw tusks, and that means orc, or orc creature. So I think this is like an orc and a human romance. It says, a merchant's daughter who yearns for adventure gets more than she bargained for when she falls for a broodingly handsome stranger in this saucy romantasy. That sounds like a bit of me. So I think the FMC is called Guinevere, and she's meant to like marry into a noble house, live quietly and obedient, but she like dreams of like different things. And then I think she meets Oscar, who is half orc. It says, Oscar's path is not set in stone. With his mother dead and his apprenticeship abandoned, all that's left is a long, lonely road to a land he's never seen, to find family he's never met. The last thing he needs is a spoiled waif, like Guinevere slowing him down. What does wait, like W-A-I-F mean? But yeah, orc romance. Well, half orc and human. He thinks she's spoiled. She, I don't know, maybe he's just like grumpy, broody. Oh, say no more. I think this is going to be like one of my favourite reads of the year, just even by like hearing it. It looks really good and I'm really excited about it. Next, on the 8th of July, we have a book, and I just checked on Waterstones to see if they still had a special edition of this, and they don't. And it's kind of hurt my soul a bit. Just a little bit, but this is Rose and Chains by Julie Soto, and I think again this is a fantasy romantasy book, which I don't know, I feel like again this is why I love reading them in summer. I feel like in summer they come out with so many good books, but it says this is going to be your new romantasy obsession, but I feel like it's like a war's over, the dark forces have won, and her brother is dead who was the heir to the throne. And I feel like everyone in her, like, kingdom is kind of, like, being sold and shipped away. And and she gets the highest bid because she's the new heir. What excites me the most is it says, after a fierce bidding war, she sold to none other than Tovin, a high-ranking Bowdsman's son? Bowman's son? I have no idea what that means. And her long ill-fated infatuation. That sounds fun. I don't know much about it, but it sounds fun. I'm hoping it's just like really, really good fantasy book because I'm really craving one at the minute. But yeah, it says, yet despite the horrors of a new world and a role she must learn to play within, all is not lost. Help and hope may arise in the most unlikely places. Why does that sound like Harry Potter? But yeah, I haven't read much from Julie Soto before, but that just sounds really good. I don't know what it is. I mean, I love that it's set at the start and like the war's already been, but like they didn't win the war and it's like them kind of like going through it. I feel like, I don't know, I don't see that a lot. So I think that's why I'm really excited about that book. But yeah, definitely get that on your list. I think that was the 8th of July. Next, I randomly stumbled upon this book and it looked really fun. It's called A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. This is expected on the 15th of July and it's by Sangu Mandana. I think that's how you pronounce their name. I'm not gonna lie, I just read the book description of this on Goodreads like earlier when I was just like nosy. I was like, what other books are coming out recently? So I've only found this today. And it's based in Lancashire and that's where I live. Lancashire Oxford. Sorry, ignore that. I don't know why I tried to put on an even more northern accent because I already sound very northern, but it's said Lancashire. Like, how cute is that? Of course I want to read a book in Lancashire. I just had to let my camera settle down because it kept overheating, but where were we? We were talking about Lancashire. So it's like, it says a whimsical and heartwarming novel. Check. I think she's called Sira Swan. Used to be one of the most powerful witches in Britain. Then she resurrected her great aunt Jasmine, who was dead, lost her magic, befriended a semi-villainous talking fox and was exiled from her guild. Now helps her auntie run like an enchanted inn in Lancashire. And I was like, oh my god, that sounds so cute. She deals with a quirky guest, tries to keep her talking fox in check. She finds out an old spell that could hold the key to like restoring her power, which then says, enter Luke Larson, handsome, icy, magical historian who arrives on a dark winter evening. Okay, I'm sold. I'm literally sold. It's in Lancashire though. Does no one else think that's really cute? And like, I love people that write books about the north of England because I feel like I see a lot of them in London and stuff. Or like, I don't actually know where this author is from, but when a lot of American people write about like somewhere in the UK, I feel like they always, like every other word's like love, 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 or like, I don't know, it sounds so over the top, like stereotypical British, which I feel like not a lot of people are. Like even down south, they aren't. Like, I feel like not every sentence is saying like certain, I don't know, just certain words that are in those kind of books. But this sounds really fun. Okay, like, are they just gonna fall in love? And that is really cute. But yeah, that is on the 15th of July, so I'm really, really excited about that one. And I feel like if you're from the north of the UK, get that added to your TBR because it's on mine. I love it when you click want to read. But yeah, that is the last book that I actually have to talk about. I really hope you enjoyed. Sorry, I love to ramble. If you get me talking about books, I do not stop. I know it can be annoying, but I've got too much to say. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want any more book related ones. I need to try and make sure I do like at least 1 or 2 book videos a month. But yeah, I was really excited to do this one just because there's just a lot of good books coming out. I feel like we're honestly being fed at the minute and I can't get over it. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you soon for a brand new one. Hopefully another book one soon. Bye!